The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, the Intercontinental Champion from Blackpool, England, weighing 245 pounds, William Regal. From San Antonio, Texas, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I said chill, up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Then easy weak. Whenever I'm around, they see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. Just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. It's your heart out, girl. Hands off the merchandise. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the look.
A big bienvenue to our fans around the world from Montreal, Quebec. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
And folks, let me assure you that tonight's show is a lot better than JR's French. Sheesh.
Well, there's no question of that, King. These Montreal fans are ready to get started, and so am I. So what are we waiting for?
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths are going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knocker. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the liver tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again.
Like him or not, there's no denying the UK's William Regal's toughness, fire, and resilience.
If the English had had 20 of him during the Revolutionary War, we'd still be speaking... Wait a minute.
Take all the time you need, King. We'll just enjoy the silence. This match is going to continue until someone...
Flat on your back with your shoulders on the mat is no place to be. How can Shawn Michaels keep calling himself the Heartbreak Kid? Does he really think he's still breaking hearts at his age?
King, I'm sorely tempted to say something about the pot and the kettle. But instead, I'll say that I think Shawn Michaels is like a fine wine. He's only improved with age. These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. He's going for the pin! There's the reversal! Respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a subject which you happen to be something of an authority. Isn't that right, King?
Come on now, JR. A man doesn't know what true happiness is until he's married. And then it's too late.
What a reversal.
He reversed it. I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all. We've got to be nearing the end, King. I don't know how much these superstars have to give. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way. I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell.
I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again. So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself.
Looks like someone's heading for the high-rent district.
And here's the pin. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it.
Superstars are in terrific shape, and that goes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't, and that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible. Look at Shawn Michaels. The future Hall of Famer has overcome so much adversity in his career. But the Heartbreak Kid's got more heart than anyone I've ever seen in this business.
You know, JR, HBK might be a living legend and all, but I wish he'd just keep his mouth shut and let his actions in the ring speak for him. He's never met a microphone he didn't like.
Michaels has impressed.
He can pin him right here, JR. I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
That's for damn sure. And that's why I don't think there can be any doubt in anyone's mind that the superstars of the WWE are the greatest athletes in the world. He might be thinking of one of his favorite tunes.
No! Sweet chin music! I don't believe it! He's a 3 count away from a pinfall.
1, 2, 3.
Here's your winner and the new Intercontinental Champion, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I set you down there, just a sexy boy. I'm not your little toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your little toy. I make him hot. I make him shiver. Then he's here.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, from the Caribbean, weighing 230 pounds, Carlito.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
From Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 275 pounds, Chris Masters. the opponent. From Cameron, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 461 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardys.
A big bienvenue to our fans around the world from Montreal, Quebec. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
And folks, let me assure you that tonight's show is a lot better than JR's French. Sheesh.
Well, there's no question of that, King. These Montreal fans are ready to get started, and so am I. So what are we waiting for?
Any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all.
Watch out! He reversed it! I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so...
Looks like a tag to me!
He's a slippery devil.
Tell me something. When you look at the masterpiece, does it make you feel like even more of a loser than you normally do?
Well, actually, when I look at the masterpiece, I'm glad I don't have the out-of-control ego that he does.
Looks like they got the tag, JR. I think Matt Hardy should change his slogan from "I will not die" to "I cannot win."
King, why do you say things like that when 9 times out of 10, they just make you look like a fool in retrospect?
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here on a stretcher. A reversal. Can he capitalize on it?
He's going for the cover, JR.
1, 2.
You can look at any professional sport you want, JR. and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition.
It sure is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact. These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't. And that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible. I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted. There's the tag. That's some good teamwork. I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR. Well, looks like he's tagging in his partner. I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they have. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up. I don't understand why you like Carlito so much, JR. What, did he lie to you and tell you that you were cool or something?
I've never been accused of being cool by Carlito or anyone else, King. Quite frankly, I'm not sure I'd know cool if it bit me on my Oklahoma Sooner backside. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on SmackDown.
Not on SmackDown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live. And now he's bringing in his partner. WWE's traveled to just about every country, and Jeff Hardy's got fans in every single one.
He's a one-of-a-kind phenomenon, no doubt about it.
Looks like he's trying for a pin here. No.
I don't think I've ever seen a guy as well put together as the masterpiece. He really is like a work of art.
Look, I don't know art, but I know what I don't like, and I don't like Master's arrogance. What a reversal. And it's been reversed. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you... Oh, my! Now that's what you call a compromising position.
That's enough to make you rethink your entire career, JR.
honest with you, King, this is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE. I don't know where he thinks he's going. This could be a mistake.
He's got his opponent in a pinning predicament. 2, 3.
Here